Hey guys, welcome back to the channel McNallie Money, home of all things stock, investment, and personal finance related. Now for today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a company by the name of BTCS Incorporated, and as the name implies, this company offers investors diversified exposure to the blockchain technology sector. Now I'm really excited to talk about this one for a number of reasons we're going to go through in today's presentation, but before we do, please take a second, hit the like button, you guys. It's a huge help to myself and the channel. If you're not subscribed, McNallie Money, feel free to do so, and let me know in the comment section below if you're currently holding shares of BTCS, what you think about their business model, and how they stack up to some of the other crypto companies we've covered on this channel. Now, I personally respond to each and every comment, so this is a great way to get a hold of me, and I'd love to hear from you. Now, with that being said, let's get into today's video. Okay guys, so that's right. Today's presentation, we're going to be taking a look at BTCS Incorporated, trades under the ticker symbol BTCS on the NASDAQ exchange in the United States. Now, as we alluded to in the intro, this company is focused on digital assets and blockchain technology. I'm really excited about them for a number of reasons we're going to talk about in today's video, but the first really has to do with the current share price. So this is as of close on Thursday, July 7th, and as you can see, BTCS was up 7 cents on the trading session, or just under 5%, so a very good day for the company. And in after hours trading, down about 2 cents per share, or about 1.3%. So obviously this company, along with many of the others we've talked about on this channel, has heavy correlation to the overall crypto markets and the macro or general economic environment itself. And as you can see, over the last 6 months, the company has been downtrending quite significantly. If we look back to the start of the year here, so January 13th of this year, BTCS was trading just shy of $7 US, and we're now sitting in the $1.50 range. So you're now able to acquire shares at a fraction of what you could have only a couple of months ago. And again, this is one of the main reasons I've personally been accumulating shares of companies with crypto exposure, and I think BTCS should definitely be on your radar. Now, before we jump into the BTCS investor presentation, I wanted to jump over to their corporate website. I'll leave a link in the video description below and give you guys a little bit of a summary in terms of what this company is all about. So front and center, you can see a leader in blockchain infrastructure and data. BTCS is securing the next generation blockchain infrastructure and providing data analytics tools for your crypto portfolio. So again, that diversification, that's really going to be a core theme of today's presentation. Now, as you're going to see a little bit later in the investor deck, BTCS has a long history in this space. They've got years of experience securing today's top performing digital asset ecosystems as the first pure play US publicly traded company focused on blockchain infrastructure and technology. BTCS believes that innovative software and decentralized systems will empower the future of finance and beyond. And we're going to look at some of these use cases or applications in a couple of seconds here. So as you can see, BTCS really sees itself as that centralized hub where all of this other blockchain technology, you can see Bitcoin, Cardano, some of the different digital assets, come together and really allow people who are immersed in these ecosystems to have a comprehensive view of all their various different crypto and blockchain technology in one spot. Now, in terms of the actual products offered by BTCS, and keep in mind, there's a lot more diversification that we're going to talk about in a second here. It really breaks down into two components. So number one is their analytics platform, or BTCS Analytics, and the second is really focused on that blockchain infrastructure that we alluded to a couple of minutes ago. So in terms of the analytics, this is where the company is really focused on breaking down some of those technical barriers that are present in the existing crypto world and giving users the opportunity to integrate all of these various different platforms and dashboards in one centralized space. And as you can see here, the BTCS Analytics dashboard plans to integrate and deliver a full range of offerings centered around two core features, which is portfolio analytics and staking as a service. And you can actually see a few of the screenshots here in terms of the analytics dashboard. So this is going to allow portfolio monitoring, crypto asset tracking across multiple exchanges and chains, again in one centralized location. These tools allow you to consolidate your crypto trade data onto a single platform, which then enables users to view and analyze token performance, risk metrics, and potential tax implications in one location. And I know as someone who's involved in this space, I have a number of different apps on my phone, different platforms, and I really have to go in, add up, consolidate, look at all my different performance metrics on a variety of different dashboards. So this centralized or single dashboard concept definitely seems to have value in my personal opinion. Now in the future, we plan to enable the dashboard to calculate year-end reports with other enhanced features in the development pipeline. And we're going to see some of that a little bit later in the investor deck. And here's a couple screenshots of the mobile offering as well. Now, in addition to that, we talked about staking as a service. This is under development. So this is going to allow investors at all levels to leverage their assets as an opportunity to earn rewards by joining BTCS and securing what they call proof of stake blockchain infrastructures. So we're going to talk about staking and how it actually works again in the investor deck here. But once this is launched, investors will be able to delegate supported cryptocurrencies within their portfolio through this non-custodial asset leveraging platform. So they'll actually be able to take part in staking activity through the platform itself. So definitely exciting technology. And again, just one of the components here that gets me really excited. Now the next one is really focused on blockchain infrastructure and providing solutions. So BTCS, through its blockchain infrastructure operations, builds and operates what are known as validator nodes on the Ethereum Beacon chain, as well as several other proof of stake or POS, again, you'll see this later in the presentation, and delegated proof of stake or DPoS blockchains. We earn rewards for processing and validating blockchain transactions through staking native digital assets on network validator nodes. Now, BTCS plans to expand their blockchain infrastructure operations to include other disruptive blockchain protocols. We are also actively developing a proprietary staking as a service platform, which we just looked at, to allow users to stake and delegate supported cryptocurrencies through that non-custodial platform to BTCS operated validator nodes. And if you want more details around this project, again, jump over to the company website here. You're going to see some of this in the corporate presentation next up or in the company's SEC filing. So again, this is really another key component of BTCS. And as we start to see a lot of these digital assets move away from proof of work, like we saw with traditional Bitcoin, to proof of stake, this is going to become more and more prominent in the industry. So with that being said, and now that we understand a little bit more about BTCS and what they're all about, I wanted to jump into the investor presentation and really walk you guys through their business model in a little bit more detail. Now, the first thing I wanted to kick this off with is really a history of the company. As I mentioned earlier, this company has been in the industry for years and years. You guys, they're one of the first companies in this space. And in terms of where they actually started out, in 2014, they were actually a Bitcoin mining company. Now, since then, BTCS has grown and evolved in a major way. In 2017, they implemented their digital asset treasury strategy, which we're going to look at in a second here. By 2021, they were securing next generation proof of stake blockchains, which we just mentioned. And now fast forward to 2022, they're the first publicly traded company to implement a dividend that's actually payable in cryptocurrency or Bitcoin. So really showing the forward thinking of the team at BTCS and how this company has continually put itself right on the cusp of emerging technology. Now, in terms of the financial highlights, so this is as of year-end 2021, they had about $38 million in cash and crypto. We're going to look at that crypto portfolio in a second. $1.2 million worth of revenue generated from their blockchain infrastructure operations. So they're already generating sizable revenue. Again, one of the things I really like about this company, just under $16 million of capital raised through a common stock offering at an average price of $8.20 per share, so substantially higher than where the company is trading currently. And again, you're now able to pick up shares at a fraction of that price. 900% growth in terms of their assets year over year, debt-free, and 41% of the shares are actually held by insiders. And we've talked about this a lot in some of these smaller cap companies. Crucially important to see that leadership and management has their own skin in the game and really put their money where their mouth is in terms of the support for these companies. So continuing along here, we've already talked about the BTCS analytics platform. We've talked about their blockchain infrastructure focus. We've talked about their long-standing history in this space. And now here is really the final piece of the pie in terms of their diversified strategy as it relates to the crypto market. So in addition to all of those other products and experience that you get with the team at BTCS, you're also getting direct exposure to cryptocurrency. So BTCS offers investors the opportunity to gain exposure to the crypto markets with that focus on next generation blockchains, which are powering what's known as Web 3.0 and the growth of things like NFTs, DeFi or decentralized finance, and the metaverse. So in addition to the products we just covered, you're also getting direct ownership of cryptocurrency. So a number of different cryptocurrencies which are actually owned and held by the team at BTCS. We're going to look at the breakdown here in a couple of seconds. So with that being said, now we're going to talk about why this blockchain technology is so powerful and the market opportunity ahead of companies that again are on the cutting edge of this technology. So we've talked about blockchains on the channel previously, but for those of you who missed the video, a blockchain ledger is essentially a distributed ledger maintained by a network of computer nodes that verify and validate transactions. So this ledger can be accessed by anyone, it's public information, and that's really what gives blockchain technology that inherent advantage over the centralized economy that we're traditionally used to. And that's exactly what you can see in the bottom left here. So traditionally, you guys, there was a centralized ledger. So governments or banks would maintain this ledger, and individuals wishing to partake in that ecosystem would have to trust a third party or intermediaries to manage that ledger and ensure accuracy. Now on the blockchain side of things, the ledger is distributed, so everybody has a copy of that. You don't need to worry about modification or manipulation, and the trust is actually built into the blockchain network and secured through what's known as cryptography. Now, in terms of how this actually all works, transactions, so payments, contracts, records, whatever is actually being transacted is broadcast to a peer-to-peer network of computers, also referred to as nodes or validators. So that's where that node validation that we talked about a little bit earlier actually comes into play. From there, the network of validators uses consensus algorithms to validate the transaction and ensure accuracy, again, for the trust of the users. Once validated, the transaction is combined with other transactions to create what's known as a new block of data that's then added to the ledger. So it's continually building upon itself and adding to this blockchain or the overall ledger. And that's really the fourth step here, where you see that new block permanently added to the existing and unalterable blockchain ledger. So the key here, you guys, is once these transactions are validated and added to the blockchain, there's no opportunity to go back and alter or change that. Again, adding trust and security to the overall network. And that's exactly why we're starting to see this blockchain technology being adopted by more and more industries for more and more uses. And that's really a perfect segue to this slide here that talks about the overall market opportunity as we move from what's known as first generation blockchains to next generation POS or proof of stake blockchains. So Web 3.0 and transaction-based industries built on next generation blockchain technologies now represent a multi-trillion-dollar market opportunity, and that's exactly what BTCS is really trying to tap into. So first generation blockchains, again, the best example of this is Bitcoin. So Bitcoin a lot of times is discussed as being the counterpart or digital version of gold. And if both of these assets were priced similarly, so this is actually a really interesting stat, each Bitcoin would be worth over $590,000 US. And at the time this presentation was put together, that's about a 16 times multiple from where it was currently trading. Now, obviously, Bitcoin has pulled back substantially over the last couple of months, but you can see even at the time this deck was put together, Bitcoin only represented a fraction of the overall market cap or cumulative reserve of gold in the world. And that's why Bitcoin bulls are so optimistic about the long-term opportunity with this digital asset. Now, as we move along to next generation blockchains, this is really where the future of the internet is going, and it's going to be transformed by next generation blockchains, which serve as the backbone of digital assets and ownership in Web 3.0. And you can see BTCS is providing a conservative estimate here in terms of TAM or total addressable market in the neighborhood of $30 trillion. So that's exactly why this opportunity is so exciting, guys. There's huge growth here. There's huge opportunity and a ton of money to be made as the world starts this transition towards Web 3.0. And that's exactly why the team at BTCS is really focused on this next generation blockchain technology, because that's where the future is going. As the great Wayne Gretzky said, don't play where the puck is now, play where the puck's going to be in the future. So again, Bitcoin is really where this all started. That's what brought the widespread attention to the blockchain technology space and the crypto asset market in general. It's a great way to digitally store value, and I personally think Bitcoin is going to play a role in the future for years and years to come. But with that being said, again, the big opportunity here, you guys, is really focused around Web 3.0. And that's why BTCS is now focusing on next generation POS or proof of stake blockchains that serve the infrastructure that supports Web 3.0. So powering things like decentralized finance, NFTs, and the metaverse ecosystem. So investing in the building blocks that are really going to combine to support these future technologies. Now, Web 3.0 represents the next evolution of web or internet technology, and it's built upon that core concept of decentralization, which we just talked about on the blockchain slide, and greater user utility. So really putting the power in the hands of the user rather than in these centralized applications or websites. BTCS believes these next generation proof of stake blockchains can be as disruptive as the paradigm shift we saw with the flow of information in the early 2000s as we saw the launch of the World Wide Web or internet as we know it today. Next generation blockchains leverage proof of stake consensus mechanisms that allow token holders like BTCS to participate in the network by staking digital assets. So there's that staking term again showing up to validate transactions on a blockchain and earn rewards for doing so. And we're now seeing all different types of industry and sectors, so digital currencies, the finance sector, securities, record keeping, all see the benefits and power of this blockchain technology and start to shift to this Web 3.0 mentality. And that's really supporting that evolution from what's known as proof of work, which is utilized by Bitcoin, to proof of stake, which is utilized by Ethereum, to the next step here, which is that DPoS or delegated proof of stake, which we're starting to see in chains like Cosmos, Polkadot, and Cardano, which is the component BTCS plans on integrating into their non-custodial staking as a service feature that's currently in development. And with all this discussion around staking and staking as a service, I thought I should throw this slide in here that really gives a good summary of what staking means and what it's all about. So cryptocurrency staking is a process that involves committing crypto assets to support and validate transactions on a blockchain network. So essentially putting up collateral, and in return, companies or individuals earn rewards for successful verification of these transactions. So staking can be compared to posting collateral or locking up assets in a bank account for a designated short-term period and earning interest while these assets are locked up. So very similar to how you earn interest in your bank account, but at a much larger scale and much more profitable terms. Rewards are then earned as staked digital assets are selected to validate transactions on the blockchain while they're locked up. The more crypto that is staked, the better the odds that your holdings will be selected as validators in these transactions. So not only is staking or proof of stake technology much more environmentally friendly than proof of work, but it also offers a number of other key benefits like higher transaction throughput, highly scalable hardware. It's a light business model. And as we start to talk about the delegated proof of stake, it offers a much more attractive cost to risk ratio, scalable revenue and asset growth, and increased probability of obtaining those rewards or being selected to validate that transaction. And that's exactly why we've seen that evolution at BTCS away from traditional crypto or Bitcoin mining or proof of work technology to this new focus on blockchain technology, staking activity, and node validation. And again, in terms of risk reward, you can see in the proof of work ecosystem, pool operators typically charged fees in the range of 1% to 3%, whereas validator operators in the delegated proof of stake ecosystem can now receive anywhere from 5% to 10% in terms of average fees on the tokens that they stake to a specific node. And that's really what's at the heart of this staking as a service platform that's currently in the works from the team at BTCS, allowing asset leveraging through validator node operation with a modern UI or user interface experience with integrated data and analytics. So allowing everyday individuals to take advantage of these staking opportunities, get involved, and earn a percentage on their tokens that they're willing to put up or stake towards this validation. Now, before we wrap up today's video, I did promise you guys a breakdown of the actual assets or digital assets that are held by BTCS. So this slide here does a really good job breaking it down. You can see, again, in the interest of diversification, over 8,000 Ethereum, 90 Bitcoin, 8,000 plus Polkadot, 5,000 Solano. The list goes on and on here, you guys, but these are coins or tokens that are actually held and owned by BTCS. So you're getting direct exposure to various different cryptocurrencies, along with the analytics, blockchain infrastructure, and staking exposure we've discussed in today's video. So at the end of the day, when you roll all these various different components up and package it together, that's what you're getting as an investment in BTCS, you guys. So in summary, their business model is really focused on blockchain infrastructure solutions. So again, securing and supporting next generation proof of stake blockchains that are powering future technology like DeFi, NFTs, and the metaverse. They're already generating revenue by staking their digital assets and running nodes, which we just discussed a couple of slides ago, and actively validating transactions on these proof of stake blockchains. Plus, they're investing in the underlying or technical infrastructure of these validator nodes on leading blockchains. Now on the other side of the house here, you get their digital asset platform, which again is designed to be that one-stop shop or dashboard to consolidate crypto portfolios across multiple exchanges, track performance, and provide data insights to the users. The platform is going to attract users and provide simple ability to delegate the user tokens to BTCS and allow them to run validator nodes, boosting revenue growth through scale. So individual users can now partake in this staking or delegation of their tokens, and BTCS will then receive a percentage of token holders' staking rewards as a validator node pool operator fee. So that's the future state, you guys, as they continue to enhance and build out this digital asset platform. They get more and more individual people staking money through the platform, and then in turn, BTCS will take a portion or fee for that activity. So at the end of the day, BTCS offers great exposure to all different components of the crypto, digital asset, blockchain, and Web 3.0 industries. They've had a long-standing history in this space, a lot of evolution at the company, and they've grown from a traditional Bitcoin miner to this multifaceted conglomerate that we see before us today. Now, in terms of their valuation, or really where we started today's presentation, if you look at traditional Bitcoin mining companies, you can see they're trading at an average ratio of about 8.8 in terms of price to their cash and crypto. If we look at next generation blockchain focused companies, so things like token.com, Neptune Digital Assets, you can see they're trading at an average multiple of about 2.2 times. And BTCS, whether you compare it to traditional companies like the miners or these next generation blockchain focused companies, really stacks up very attractively. And again, at the time this presentation was put together, BTCS was trading at an average share price of $3.34 with a market cap of about $42 million, or a multiple of only 1.1 in terms of their price to cash and crypto. And as we saw on our introduction, BTCS is now trading in the range of about $1.50 US, market cap sub $20 million, and an even more attractive price to cash and crypto ratio. So for those reasons, you guys, I definitely think this one is worth a look. I'm a long-term bull on the crypto space. I believe in this technology over the next few years, decades, and beyond. And I think companies like BTCS that are continually putting themselves on the cutting edge of these industries and this new technology are going to fare extremely well over the long term. Pullbacks like we're seeing right now are a great opportunity to accumulate shares, build out your position, and should really be looked at as a gift in terms of investment opportunity. Now, with that being said, I'd be super curious to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Are you currently holding shares of BTCS? What do you think about their diversified business model and how they stack up to some of the other players and traditional crypto miners in this space? If you're still watching at this point in time, hopefully you found some value, so make sure you hit the like button before you leave. And if you're not currently subscribed to the channel, McNallie Money, feel free to do so. With that being said, that's all for now. Thanks so much for watching and have a great rest of your day.